Mike, check. Justin Hunt. It's all happening. Thank you to everybody rocking with the channel. Thank you to everybody subscribed through the channel. Everyone who shared the video, shared the link. It's priceless. I appreciate you. Big thank you to everyone who's donated. If you'd like to donate, you can hit the Cash App that's right up there, or you can hit the link in the description. And big thank you to all my newest members. All my newest members of this community. Dennis Chaco, Audie Osiris, that's dope. Mickey Stopwatch, Positively Pepper Jones, I like the alliteration. Miss Abby, Boyo Man 333, Jim Muncho, Samira Soto, Adrian Bothwood, Doc Wash, ABJ, Min's Mind, Isaac Vasquez, 9-second applause. Thank you. Big show today. I announced this during Culture United last week that I will be doing members only lives to start this week. So look out for that. Thank you guys for joining the channel. I really appreciate it. Now, yesterday I dropped a video reacting to Joey Badass's Sorry Not Sorry. Sorry Not Sorry. And I think the general sentiment is that it's pretty tepid. Pretty tepid. Now, I like it a lot. I like the song quite a bit. I think it's a better song than a diss track, clearly. There's allusions in there to Daylyt more than anyone else. There was actually a bar that I didn't understand. It just sounded weird when he said, Cat's got his tongue. He hasn't said anything all week or whatever. In my mind, when I was reacting to that, that was the first time I listened to the song. When I was reacting to that, I didn't even consider the fact that maybe he's talking to Kendrick. I didn't even consider it. I was like, why would Kendrick react to him? You know what I'm saying? I didn't even consider it. So maybe that's what that reference, that line really was about on that song. But in that same video, I also mentioned that there was a couple other responses, tracks that came out that I hadn't had a chance to talk about quite yet. And so today we're going to do that first. First up. Now, CJ Fly, he's a member of Pro Era Beast Coast Representer. 1 second applause to CJ Fly. Fantastic rapper. And so CJ released a response rather, to Daylyt's High U. Okay, so he's responding to both Daylyt and Rayvon. And but he's on the High U beat. Now, there's a video on this channel. We reacted to High U. Check it out if you missed it. So we're going to start with CJ Fly's High U. Check out this thumbnail here. You got Scrappy Doo. Second applause. All right, that's got to be Rayvon. That's got to be Rayvon. All right, so let's hear what CJ Fly did on Daylyt's High U, which he produced too.
But they free me your good behavior. Jesus to Jesus back and your savior can't even save ya.
Jesus to Jesus, what do you say right there? Let me hear that one more time.
Yeah. Jesus to Jesus back and your savior can't even save ya.
Jesus to Jesus back and your savior can't even save you. I wonder if that is like a double entendre. Yeah, obviously he's talking about Jesus to Jesus. But Kendrick was using Jesus imagery on the Mr. Morale tour. And Kendrick detractors like to talk about Kendrick being everybody's Lord and Savior, even though Kendrick openly said on the song that he's not anybody's Lord and Savior. So perhaps what he's saying is Daylyt and Rayvon can't even be saved by Kendrick. If that's the case, I'm not mad at the entendre. He's starting in on 1,000.
Put down your breed, we in danger, you'll be in danger. Make a fiasco, could guarantee all you'll see is lasers.
Nice Lupe Fiasco reference. Make a fiasco, I guarantee all you see is lasers. 1 second applause.
I make promises, I don't make threats. The way I'm snapping could break necks. Got it twisted like tic tacs. Must be blasted like SpaceX. Been a beast like I ate flesh. Y'all corny boy trying to come at the apex.
I like that too. I mean, the SpaceX reference, lasers, the Beast Coast reference that was just in there. He rapping.
Take next. Put it with it's not a battery in. I'm a shogun, I don't show guns when the battle begins.
I'm a shogun, I don't show guns when the battle begins. Nice callback to Fiasco, Lupe Fiasco Lasers. Lupe is a samurai. He also released an album called Samurai. Now, so we got the Japanese combat martial arts scheme that's running right now.
At the same 24, why they dragging me in? Was in Japan doing shows and was adding up again.
Now we got a Japanese reference. He's rapping. 1 second so far. 1 second applause.
Burn so much trees, I think I'm the cause of the wildfires.
Ooh, burn so much trees, I think I'm the cause of the wildfires. Now, rap battles is how it is. Everything's on the table in rap battles. But a lot of times, things can get distracting for people, and I think that certain topics do that. Like Ray Vaughn distracted people with the Tory Lanez reference to Meg on Crash Out Heritage. That was distracting. Talking about he supported Tory, he didn't think he shot her. Man, that was terrible.
Tomato.
But like, this is one of those lines. Right here. You know, I think I started the wildfires definitely too soon.
Tomato.
That's my thoughts.
This beat ain't conducted, still I'm a live wire. When I slow them in, they thought I had 5 priors. I keep on fucking them up, would think I'm a mile higher. Y'all got me started, so I ain't come. It's showtime, my CBS channel lit like I'm Viacom. Striking like light.
I like that. CBS channeling like I'm Viacom. CBS, the network Viacom's owned by, or CBS is owned by Viacom.
And it's frightening like a quiet storm. It's suited, I'm dancing with anybody just like it's wrong. Still got love for my dogs on the west of the map. Have some respect when you address, we from the Mecca of rap.
Okay, I like that too. Have some respect when you address we from the Mecca of rap. That to me is exactly what Joey Badass is attempting to do. Restore the feeling, right? That line right there to me captures a feeling that New York and any peak has ever had did a great job of capturing. Pride in being from the Mecca of rap. Pride in it. I like that line a lot. It's a subtle line. It might even sound, arrogant to some, but that is what New York is. Even away from just hip hop. You from New York, you're from New York. Okay, you gotta be rich just to be broke in New York. You live in New York for 10 years. You have to live in New York for 10 years before New Yorkers consider you a New Yorker. That's because the average person moves there, and then the average person who moves there starts calling themselves a New Yorker after 5 years because the average person who moves to New York doesn't make it 2 years. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Have some respect when you address we from the Mecca of rap. 1 second applause.
Fuck what you saying. I'm winning when I'm stepping on tracks. If it's a race, y'all expect me to black, right?
If it's a race, y'all expect me to black. I rock with that too. 1 second. Daylyt cooked with this beat, by the way.
Why they tripping without a...
Why they tripping without a carry-on? Why they tripping without a carry-on? I like that.
You niggas need it just... I don't know what type of games you niggas playing. He thirsty, then we could wet him up, squeeze the nozzle and spray him. You featherweights can't compete, so why even weigh in? Tell little man don't fuck with my brothers, we like the weigh-ins.
That's a Ray Vaughn. Tell little man, don't F with my brothers. That's Ray Vaughn. Look at this scrappy dude sitting there. I'm with it. 1 second applause.
Homie, don't play that cause Christ is gonna be a scary movie. You wanna be in the spotlight, treat you like Stanley Tucci. We from the bush just like some hairy coochie. I don't like your energy, you ain't a G unless you wearing Gucci.
Wow. That Wayne's Brothers scheme right there was tight too.
This the reason that we don't fuck with you rapper dudes. That little pump keep barking for attention, look like Scrappy Doo. The bars is lukewarm and the raps is cute. Hands up, you don't want no static with your nappy roots.
That's the Nappy Roots song. If I'm not mistaken, I think they got a song called Static. But this one is at Ray Vaughn. Got the Scrappy Doo reference. I mean, it's kind of funny too. I rock with Ray Vaughn quite a bit. But when he was standing on the console in that video, and then when he was I think that was a Bentley, when he was standing next to the Bentley, that was the first time I've realized how short Ray Vaughn really is. And CJ Fly is going in on that angle.
Bring that games might get nuclear when the button in. Could squabble up like we share par. Why is you butting in? I'm like a clumsy Druthie cause I just dropped a couple gems. You trying to flex, we raising a bar. Go find another gym.
You know what's so funny is like Joe Budden button in line is starting to become as overused in my opinion as my life is like a movie. You remember my life is like a movie? No, we got VR now. I don't want to hear your life is like a movie. I don't want to hear it. There's IMAX. There's all kinds of other ways. There's Oculus. My life is like Oculus. Who knows? That button in line. I know Joe got to be tired of hearing that because that is almost a default rap at this point.
In the end, just play your role cause this ain't Bollywood. We Brooklyn cats that do a little acting but ain't Hollywood. It's about to get dark.
We Brooklyn niggas that do a little acting but ain't Hollywood, you know, and that's really standing on Joey Badass as an actor and you know the things he's accomplished on television and on screen. And I like he ain't run away from it, but he ain't Hollywood at the same time.
See the light of day. Tell son he need to lighten up because we see more brighter rays.
Tell son he need to lighten up because till we see more brighter rays. Another Daylyt reference. So both CJ and Joey got bars for Daylyt too.
And if we talking bars, we got a wide array. You better watch out for the sharks while trying to ride the wave.
Better watch out for the sharks while trying to ride the wave. Metaphor, waves, California coast. All right, CJ. All right, I think that's it. CJ Fly, High You Freestyle, response to Daylyt and Ray Vaughn. I like that. I like that better than I like that better than The Rule Is Back, to be honest. Now, don't get me wrong. The Rule Is Back, Joey and CJ Glee have a different style, but this one to me is, you know, more of a diss track, obviously. But I like the bars quite a bit on this. I'm gonna give this 8.2 second applause. All right, we got one more. We're going to react to right now. This is me playing catch up. I still expect more tracks to drop. There's artists that I know who have at least created something that I'm waiting for them to put out here. But again, this to me is the best part of what Joey Badass is doing because we do get examples or an opportunity to hear lyricists. Now, if you're asking my opinion as a region, I don't think anybody's rapping at the level of the West right now. I'm not talking about necessarily hit songs or club songs or any of these other things. Those things are important. But just rapping and creativity and angles and having a whole slate of lyrics first artists be successful and pushing their pens, I don't think there's another region that's doing it at this level. I mean, whether you're talking Vince Staples, Schoolboy Q, Ab-Soul, Ray Vaughn, Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, Coyote, you know, like Peso. There's a ton. You can do this with a lot of artists, regardless of the style, regardless of what type of rap they focus on. There is a lot of lyrics first guys right now doing incredible things. So as a region, I think everybody's catching up to the West. This doesn't mean other regions don't have dope MCs, but I'm talking about as a region collectively. The West Coast has a culture right now of lyricists where there's room for a ton of lyricists. I mean, look at what Daylyt did on Pi, right? You know, it's just a different class, I think, right now when it comes to lyricists and lyrics first artists. New York has a bunch of lyricists, don't get me wrong, but in terms of what they're doing and how they're moving and how many different sectors of lyricism in the West Coast, whether they're connected or otherwise, or even if they're not connected, are still having success, to me, the energy's out here on the West. And the next artist is another one. His name is Cliff Savage. Cliff Savage out of Long Beach. Okay, Cliff Savage made Bad Wolf, a Joey Badass diss. And let's take a look at this one. I like that too. I like this. I mean, it's subtle, right? It's really subtle, but just to have their pictures side by side, right? Like Cliff Savage got his do-rag on in a similar way that Joey Badass has his scarf on here. But to people who might be entering this conversation, right? Big shout out to Badger. I was talking to Badger yesterday, and he was talking about how after Control dropped, and I think it's fair to say, because Kendrick called out so many well-known new artists. I think that era had more well-known lyricists. You had a lot of responses from a lot of well-known artists. And this one, so that one felt like the playoffs. And this one feels more like the play-in. And I think of that as complimentary, because this is an opportunity for a lot of artists to get a look that they maybe otherwise wouldn't be able to have. Just a straight, this is how good I can rap type look. And so this subtle image side by side between Cliff Savage and Joey Badass to me forces the thought that Cliff Savage, is one on par with Joey Badass, and it forces the thought that, okay, whatever I'm about to hear, visually looking at this, I know exactly that it's at Joey Badass, but it's forcing me to think about what Joey Badass said on that song. This is from The Ruler's Back, in comparison to what Cliff Savage is about to say. It's a very subtle thing, but I think it's actually really, really effective.
Walking them down like chopper, in the air like opera, just like the chopper spider. I grew up in Gotham, I'm not afraid of problems. Nigga won't walk with me, the blitz, say like Jodis, hey.
I grew up in Gotham, I ain't afraid of problems. First of all, he is floating on this track, by the way. He is floating on this track.
Fill up the bank with bitches, give me the bottom stingy. Smoking the pack, it lift me. I know that your bitches listen. Back in my Duffy, I gotta get rid of these niggas and rap for real.
Back in my Duffy, I gotta get rid of these and rap for real. This is what this moment's for. This is the moment that Joey's giving us in 2025. 1 second applause.
Pull out the pen like the wonderful wizard. I'm slithering ready to hey, I'm noticing niggas gon' hit on the west. The tension is rising, you niggas get pressed. Nigga got out of his body and went at the Kenny like we ain't a problem, I guess.
Right. Okay, that's the other thing. That's why I lost that. It didn't even occur to me that when Joey said, "Oh, sorry, not sorry," that, it's been a week. He hasn't said anything. He was talking about Kendrick. It didn't even occur to me, really, because there's a line on GNX where Kendrick says, oh my gosh, how's that line goes? Who you with? Who you with? Couple sergeants and lieutenants. Who you with? Couple sergeants and, Who you with? Couple sergeants and lieutenants for the get back. Right. There are some incredible sergeants and lieutenants on the West right now. And Cliff Savage just reminded us of that. Let's bring it back.
Tension is rising, you niggas get pressed. Nigga got out of his body and went at the Kenny like we ain't a problem, I guess.
Got out of his body, went at Kenny like we ain't a problem, I guess. He's rapping, y'all.
I gotta know by your circle, so tell me the name of the nigga that said it's a go. The problem with Joey is he ain't got niggas around him enough that's telling him no. Savage the one that you don't wanna play with, cause I'm from the West with unlimited flows. You got the boom, the bow, the bing. I got a new block that's ready to sing.
I'm from the West with unlimited flows. You got the boom, the bop, the bing. Direct rebuttal, because that's what Joey Badass said on The Ruler's Back. But that is something that does stand out to me too with these response tracks that we've gotten so far. Coming out the West, everybody got a different style.
Cooking a nigga like he in a suit. Bitch, I'm a dragon, a flame in the roofs. Back on the block and I'm banging it too. Popping your shit, what popping it too? Problem with rappers, these niggas are waiting for the moment the cloud is available to them. If I got a problem with niggas, the fuck is we waiting for? Make it available to them. People
keep dismissing this as a clout chase, and perhaps it is. But I think dismissing things as a clout chase is up there with, do your own research, or it's up there with you're biased, or it's up there with just a lot of very pedantic sayings that people throw out there. I don't necessarily look at all of this as a clout chase as much as it's considered more of a clout chase because of the social media era. Again, rapping used to just be like this. People just used to like rapping at each other. It just used to be a thing. And perhaps the way Joey did it, it resonates as a clout chase. But again, I keep saying this. I think his aim is to restore the feeling of New York. And I don't think it's a clout chase in that context, even if he did allude to Kendrick Lamar.
I'm at the point in my life where the fuckery isn't a thing, I'ma let in the air. So what this shit really about? I wanna know, cause these niggas be thinking we playing it fair. West.
Yeah. I mean, he did just say people don't like the West. That is a thing. That is a thing. I understand where people are coming from now with that. And again, after talking to Jason Martin about this and a number of people, even off record, about how people don't like the West Coast, right? And there's a lot of reasons why that is the case, or people feel that is the case. I don't know if other regions necessarily understand what the West Coast means when they say that, right? But it's also, to me, like how Michael Jordan used to just make up stuff that he saw in headlines to give him an edge every day when he went out to go play somebody. He would read little articles or manufacture, villains in his head so that he could go out and dominate and stay motivated. Perhaps there is a bit of people don't like the West Coast. Maybe there's perhaps a bit of that as well. I'm gonna ask around. I haven't asked people that question. I wonder what Glasses would say about that. Maybe I should do a conversation with Glasses and include that. 1 second, applause to Glasses below.
West. Kicking the horse on the ground is dead. You heard what I said. Ready for war if these niggas think that the motion we got is a threat. Normally I just be sit back and watch and laughing at niggas. You really be wildin'. You the type nigga be off of the beat, and I be the nigga that's open the scene. Bro, that shit was garbage. Erase it. Yo, tell that fuck nigga go back to vacation. I'm in the
Tell him to go back to vacation. Go film a movie, Joey. You don't want it over here? 1 second applause.
Middle of making a movie, I promise you I am not letting them breathe. Directing emotion, I know that they notice I'm Freddie and Jason, I'm killing the scene.
Wow, and that's a nice scheme too, right? Because Joey has been spending so much time on film and television and things like that, and he just ran a whole scheme on them. A whole scheme. Let's bring that back a little bit. I like that.
Nigga go back to vacation. I'm in the middle of making a movie. I promise you I am not letting them breathe. Directing emotion, I know that they notice I'm Freddie and Jason, I'm killing the scene. Oh shit, I'm not a big nord. Open up the vault, I got more. God with this shit, I'm like Thor. I just bring the hammer for the chores. Taking the flip with my foot on your neck.
I just bring the hammer for the chores.
Taking your Timberlands, you ain't a threat.
Taking your Timberlands. There was a funny thing that happened during COVID when everyone had to go inside. We were on lockdown. Someone took a picture of a pair of Timbs on a subway platform and just said New York is healing itself. 1 second applause.
Leaving them bloody, I'm leaving a mess. See me in any mug and he think he the best. Dictionary rapping ass nigga. Black.
Ooh.
Gas camel ass nigga. Big
Ooh.
boot scarf ass nigga.
Ooh. Big boot scarf ass nigga.
Skin tart ass nigga.
Ended on jokes. I like that.
Playing with the West, man. Savage.
Shout out to Cliff Savage. Oh, wow. I enjoyed that one. Now, this one is different, right? Because it's not as bar heavy. It's not as punchline heavy. But he is flowing, and he's also painting a picture. Bone Thugs and Harmony is my first favorite rap group. And what I mean by that is I had a lot of rap groups that I listened to, but when Bone Thugs came out, I was like, this is for me. This group made music particularly for me. You know what I mean? And so I love double time rap, bounce rap. I'm gonna give this one an 8.4 second applause. Big shout out to Cliff Savage, straight out of Long Beach. This video is up on YouTube. I'll make sure to put a link in the description for it. But these are two responses that I haven't had a chance to react to yet. I do expect more tracks to come. And again, I like this because this is what Joey dropping The Rule Is Back has rocked. And I, again, think hip-hop is better when everyone is running when competition is undergirding the lyricism. I personally do. I enjoy it more. How about that? And again, Sorry Not Sorry is a better song to me than it is a response. And who knows if Joey's going to come back. I think it'd be very interesting if Daylyt or Rayvon or someone else spins a block and drops something that's actually fire. Because Joey kind of shrugged off Daylyt, and I mean, he mentions Daylyt, but he kind of shrugged off all these other tracks, which I'm not surprised by, right? But I think it's a very if Daylyt, Ray Vaughn, Cliff Savage, whoever spins a block again and drops something in reaction to Sorry Not Sorry, and it's actually fire, and Joey doesn't say anything about it, I think that is a potentially very distracting touch point for Joey being in album mode because Joey's a lyricist, and he's trying to restore the feeling. Too much West Coast dick licking. Said I'm the ruler's back, the real king of New York. So where's Kenny? I got him. And 5 or 6 different West Coast lyricists kind of waxed him, kind of got him. I think that is not embarrassing, but definitely distracting narrative to the return of the real king of New York. if the branding is correct, the king of New York has returned, the ruler's back, and the ruler hasn't shown that he could knock off the sergeants and lieutenants on the get back. I think that is a distracting narrative for the king of New York, the lyricist king of New York, to come back with. So, I think is Joey at a crossroads here. Does he continue to engage, or does he get back to his mission? Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. My name is Justin Hunt. Like, subscribe to the channel. Follow at The Company Man on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip-hop, from trip-hop to yes, y'all, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.